The Washington Nationals selected Steven Strasburg, a starting pitcher, with the first overall choice in the 2009 MLB draft. Regarded as a generational talent across all of Major League Baseball, a guy who is close to being MLB ready and has the tools necessary to deal at the MLB level. A pitcher with an incredibly versatile curveball that can be used as a strike pitch or a chase pitch and has an upper 90s fastball. Bryce Harper was selected the following year after Strasburg. Two men who ultimately were going to be able to work out for the Nationals. The Nationals had a terrible team in 2010, and the attendance dropped to an average of 22,000 people each game, as the fans lost total interest in the team and stopped going to the games. The energy, however, abruptly changed. The top overall choice from a year ago, Steven Strasburg, was called up to make his professional debut. 40,000 spectators saw his debut at the stadium after fans packed the ballpark. It almost sold out, a matter of fact, and he pitched for 7 innings and allowed just 2 runs, making it one of the best debuts in MLB history. In this game, he walked 0 of the hitters that he faced and struck out 14 of them. Talk about a debut just 1 year after being selected. But for Strasburg, catastrophe struck early when his UCL tore and his shoulder started to swell up, which ended up leading into Tommy John surgery. Then in 2012, as the Nationals were closing in on a postseason appearance, Strasburg was dealt a devastating blow and had reconstructive elbow surgery. This stopped him from helping the Nationals on their playoff run that year, which was pretty brutal, especially for him mentally. The good news is that he remained elite and healthy for a very long time after this 2012 incident. The Nationals reached the World Series, fast forwarding into 2019. The man who made it happen was Strasburg, who also received the World Series MVP as a result. But this is also what started Steven Strasburg's decline. He tossed 36 postseason innings in addition to 209 innings during the regular season. His arm was completely exhausted. His pitching was actually cooked from the amount of time he had to carry the Nationals, pitching on his back. He began the season on IL in 2020. He was hurt nearly right away after returning from that injury, only facing 3 hitters in his second start. He had a nerve problem and returned back onto the injury list. And then whenever 2021 arrived, Strasburg was once again sidelined with injury, for a far more worse injury this time. He had something that is known as neurogenic outlet syndrome, which is basically your nerves being compressed. He was scheduled to return in 2022, which he did return from this brutal injury in 2022. However, he only lasted for 1 start before hitting the IL once more, this time due to a stress reaction to his ribs. Everything was going wrong for Strasburg. The injury was of course a result of the procedure that he had a year before for the neurogenic outlet syndrome. Every time he was hurt, he put effort into getting better and becoming well again and getting back into the groove of pitching. And each time, the situation further worsened. The year Strasburg would return was 2023. Unfortunately, this was the last straw, because what ended up happening is his outlet syndrome returned from 2021 and he was shut down in June. And as of yesterday, he made his retirement announcement. Injury is a tragedy, and he figured that out the very hard way. From a player who once carried his team on his shoulders to a World Series MVP, to a player who is no longer in the league and couldn't maintain his health no matter how hard he tried. His body gave out on him constantly. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and peace out.